Stonewall riots of the 28th of June to the 3rd of July 1969 are deservedly recognised as a pivotal turning point for the advancement of LGBT+ civil rights. They had a significant unifying effect that would catalyse the modern Pride movement. However, the crucial role black LGBT+ people had in creating this critical moment is overlooked both within and without the LGBT+ community. It is not possible to cover in a brief space of time their whole contribution, but we can perhaps give some thought to one of their most influential figures, Marsha P. Johnson. In the years preceding and following the riots, the influence of Johnson was integral to the formation of the LGBT+ community. Johnson's specific identity is not clear. Whilst she may have been transgender, the term did not exist at the time of the Stonewall riots, and therefore she could not have identified with it. It is more probable that Johnson was gender non-conforming, according to Susan Stryker, a professor of human gender and sexuality studies at the University of Arizona. Marsha P. Johnson suffered from the extreme homophobia present in American society from her childhood in the 1950s, only feeling comfortable in self-expression when living in New York City. Performing in the drag circuit of Greenwich Village, New York, Johnson's initial moniker was Black Marsha. However, she obtained the name Johnson from the restaurant Howard Johnson's on 42nd Street. Her style of drag became well known for its intersticing of masculine and feminine, as described by Edmund White, contemporary fashion editor. Marsha P. Johnson often made do with the little she was able to gain, her iconic crowns of flowers being picked from those left behind onto the tables used for sorting flowers in Manhattan's Flower District. Marsha P. Johnson struggled with homelessness, as did many LGBT+ people at that time, their out status making them effectively unemployable. Johnson played a significant role at the Stonewall riots. However, unlike what some have maintained, she did not start them, this being more accurately attributed to Stormé DeLavery, who cried out, "Won't somebody do something?" when being led into a police wagon, sparking the crowd into action. The tale that is told of Marsha P. Johnson throwing a shot glass at a window screaming, "I got my civil rights," is considered a fabrication, or to have been done by another unknown person. However, it is corroborated by multiple witnesses that Johnson did drop a bag containing a brick on a police car windshield. Following the Stonewall riots, Johnson was extremely important in coalescing the nascent transgender community under Street Transvestite Action, or STAR, along with her close friend Sylvia Rivera. Johnson faced not only exclusion from heteronormative society, but also from her own community. At the first known Pride rally in history, the 1970 Christopher Street Liberation Parade, transgender women were excluded for giving the gay marches a, quote, bad name. Johnson and STAR's response to this was to march defiantly ahead of the parade, with Johnson telling reporter Diana Davies, "Darling, I want my rights now." Whilst initially Rivera and Johnson and other gender non-conforming or transgender people were extremely unpopular at Pride marches, it was the determined actions of Johnson, and particularly Rivera, that helped to reinforce the necessity of transgender people in the Pride movement. Johnson was no stranger to police brutality, having been at Stonewall, but also apparently having lost a husband to a police officer. When a judge questioned her after an altercation with police officers, wherein she used her familiar tactic of striking them with bricks inside a bag, he asked where her, quote, alleged husband was, to which Johnson responded, "A pig shot him." It must be remembered that at this time, there was no form of gay marriage permitted whatsoever in the United States. Marsha P. Johnson found little recognition for her efforts, struggling with severe mental health issues and being forced to subsist in poverty. In 1992, Marsha P. Johnson was alleged to have taken her life in the Hudson River, but the conditions of her death were extremely suspect, with Marsha P. Johnson's body having suffered an incongruously large head wound. Many of Johnson's close friends suspected foul play. However, reopening the police investigation was arduous, and two separate investigations in 2002 and 2016 left the cause of her death as undetermined. A small movement continues to seek justice today, which has been examined in the 2017 documentary The Life and Death of Marsha P. Johnson, seeking to right the tragic wrong committed against the mayor of Christopher Street.